How are you doing today?
Well, I have hug in a mug. So I got a little summer cold happening. I don't know where it came from, but again, when you have kids and you're a social human, I don't question it. I'm like, all right, let's up the vitamin C. Let's drink some lots of water. Let's drink some lots of water.
Lots of water.
Let's try to get our words together so they form complete sentences. But yeah, I'm feeling fine. Just my nose is very tickly and sneezy and runny. So there's that. How are you?
I'm good. I take back that hug I gave you when you got here now.
I told you I was not feeling 100% and you just went right in for it. And I was like, I'll take a hug. You give really good hugs. I'm not gonna deny your hugs.
No, I'm good. We had a really great weekend, but like not relaxing. But not relaxing.
Do tell.
No, we were visiting friends of ours in Maryland. And listen, it's such a good time when you get a whole bunch of people together that are just jiving and having fun and laughing. The kids were having a ball. So Sunday night, they had 8 girls on a golf cart. They have like tons of property, right? Mm-hmm. We figured out that they did 60 miles on this golf cart while they were there over the weekend.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Is it a big golf cart?
No, but they had 8 girls on it.
Okay.
And so we're all sitting there. It's like, late at night. They have the lights on the golf cart. They come cruising through, and I think Evie decided to do golf cart karaoke.
Fun.
So all of them are singing Country Road on Denver as they come cruising through. It was hysterical. So then she texted me and she's like, any requests? So every time they would make another pass, they would be singing something else.
Okay. Were they changing drivers or?
At that point, because it was late, it was just the oldest girl that was driving.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was a good time.
Welcome to Two Mystic Mamas.
I looked at you like a rabid animal. Like,
yes, you did. Cue
and go. All right, guys. We're here today to talk about Leo season.
Those good old Leos. We got 2 of them with us, too.
Right here in this very room.
Mm-hmm. So when I was prepping for this, I got to be honest, we've been doing this zodiac now. We're kind of coming to the end. And Leo has definitely been one of the signs I've really enjoyed getting to know about. I think in part because one of the most influential women in my life was a Leo. And so when I was reading about it, which that's my Nana, I could associate so much back to her. And I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. Which is like anything in life when you're learning about something. If you can relate it to an event or to a person, you retain a lot more of that information.
I mean, I think that's what a lot of our podcast is about, in truth. It's just like relating all of this information back to lived experience so that we can share it with you guys.
Yes, that's so well put, because that's really every week, we come together for these, what we hope is information that is helpful and tangible and that can garner insight into your own existence and your own human experience. And Leo has been really fun for me to learn about and to associate. And I like Leo.
I love Leo season a lot, and I love Leos.
Yeah.
They're some of my favorite humans. One of my best friends on the planet is a Leo, and her fierce loyalty is unmatched. Mm-hmm. Absolutely unmatched. But I remember being like 18, 19, 20 years old, something like this, and having a Halloween party. And this kid showed up that wasn't supposed to be there. And I told him to leave. And he got really shitty with me. And he like took my sliding glass door and he like ripped it off the track when he did. And so my friend, and I have this vision in my head so fiercely, she's in this like Jasmine genie costume. And she is like marching down the driveway, like, come back here, motherfucker. And I'm like, oh, this is fond Leo memories. I love her so much. Mm-hmm. I'll never get that out of my head.
I
But the
know.
loyalty, right?
Yep.
She didn't even know what happened. She just knew I was upset. She was gone.
And that's all they need to know.
Right.
When they have that established relationship with someone, that is definitely a Leo characteristic, is unbelievably loyal. And
it's all about heart.
Yeah, they don't need to know the reasons behind it. They're just going to go to a fault, naturally.
I mean, all the signs have this.
Yeah.
They have that tipping point, right?
Yeah, where it's like, okay, good, but maybe just get some details about the situation before you like go full tilt. But I feel like that's also like a youth thing too.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah, we were so young.
We don't know until we do, and then we learn, you know. I've had a few people. Sometimes,
do you have Leo placement in your chart? Because I could see you doing something like that.
So it's interesting you should mention that. So I recently found a new app called Astra, which is very good. Very good. It's expensive though. So I only did the trial because I was like, I'm not paying $8 a week for this. So I took a picture before my thing expired of my placements. And interestingly enough, I don't have a ton. I have my Cap Moon and my Cap Rising. And then Scorpio is my sun, which we know. And then Libra, I have 4 placements.
That explains so much.
Scorpio, I have another. I have Jupiter's and then 2 in Sagittarius. I'm like very condensed in where I'm at with my houses. Isn't that fascinating?
That is fascinating.
So I also think sometimes when you don't have placements, there's that compatibility though, because it's like I'm lacking a lot of that. So I'm attracted to a lot of the placements that I don't have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So my Nana was a Leo, but she was a cusp too. We should get into some of the details for people that are listening that are like, I don't even know what we're talking about.
All right, why don't you give them the dates and then we'll talk a little bit about rising signs and all that stuff.
All right, so some fun facts, like high-level facts about Leos here. They are a fire sign. So if you know anything about just fire in general, it's hot and fiery and feisty. So they also were with the Aries and the Sagittarius. Aries would be the cardinal fire sign. And then let me get to...
It's also a fixed sign. Fixed signs are known for being determined and holding strong in their convictions. If we go back to the Taurus, the Aquarius.
Yes.
These are all examples of fixed signs.
Right. And the other is, so if you're either fixed or you're mutable.
It's like when Griswold comes in to the recording space and he lays down in between the wires and becomes an immovable object.
Yeah,
that is a fixed sign.
That's right. So it's also ruled by the sun.
Okay, I want to talk about this for a minute.
Okay.
So one of our amazing interns here, Shane, and I were talking. He had this amazing new tarot deck. And first of all, the energy of this deck was so great. Like, just, he had me hold it and just going through and looking at it.
Oh, it's here.
It's here. And it's beautiful.
Okay.
And the energy is fantastic. I was talking about how I pull the sun card all the time. Like, this is a reoccurring theme for the last year. And he has been recently pulling the sun card. And I was waiting because I knew we were going to talk about this on the podcast. So I did not share that is the ruling sign of Leo.
Yes.
And this is like such a big thing for Leos to be pulling that sun sign. It's bold. It's about expression. It's about creativity. Like, I love this so much.
Yeah, creativity is another big thing for Leos. I mean, you guys are creatives. I mean, I'm looking at the camera, but I'm also looking at the 2 Leos that are in the space right now.
But this light is as blinding as the sun, so I can barely see one of them over.
Mine's over here.
The sun side.
Yes. And so when you think about creatives, you think about kind of the line of work that you're both in, right? This is a creative job. You're doing audio engineering, you're doing videography, you're doing lighting, you're using that space around us to make something beautiful happen. Also allowing the magic to take place, right? Because we can't control all of the things, because if that sun comes out in real life, then it affects, what we're doing. We were kind of talking about that earlier, about the lighting, how it's a little different than last time we recorded. And there's a lot of Leos that lend themselves to the arts, right? So when you think about creatives, you think about the arts. Again, just having those parallels where I was thinking about things that I used to do with my grandmother, and we would go to museums all the time. We would go to the Philharmonic in New York City. We would go to the Nutcracker and these different events that she would introduce us to because it was important to her.
Right.
And so I think that's another place to highlight with Leos, and in this Leo season is leaning into your creativity. And anytime that we're talking about a zodiac season, we've mentioned this, but it's worth mentioning on every zodiac episode is, like, for example, for me, even though I don't have a specific Leo placement in my chart, that doesn't mean that I can't lean into the energy of the Leo season and lean into the characteristics of Leos, which
right.
are being loyal, being creative, being confident. Their sign is the lion.
Right. Well, and like the sun, which is the center of the universe, right? It's about shining and it's about leading. And that's really what Leo season is all about. It's an invitation for you to shine and for you to lead with love.
Correct. As is the leader of the safari is the lion.
Well, in terms of actual tarot significance, Leos are usually connected with a strength card, which is depicted by a lion.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it. I have my little meditating lion that sits above my
You've
altar.
mentioned this guy a few times. We need to showcase his ass. Well, it would be interesting to do a card pull too at some point. Maybe we could do a card pull for you guys, or you could do a card pull for yourself for the year ahead.
Oh, like in their episode? Yeah.
Oh, that would be fun.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Okay, so you were saying just about the leadership and how that's a big part of natural born leaders are Leos.
They're like, that's not what you were talking about at all.
Loyal, leadership. There's all these LLLs.
Soft courage. That's what I like to call it, soft courage. Sometimes it can get a little abrasive if you get too courageous, but that's okay.
That's that tipping point, right?
That tipping point where 1 minute you're storming down a driveway in a genie costume yelling at somebody you don't know.
That's right.
Right. It's good to know that limit, though. And I think inherently Leos are very charismatic people.
Yes, very much so.
And they don't really want to go to that place.
And if they're healthy, right? There are healthy and unhealthy parts of being charismatic, being loyal, being confident, being a leader. You have to figure out that balance yourself as that person, as that human having that experience. I know, again, I have to relate everything back to my Nana, but I was very, very intimately connected with her. Like, I knew who she was as a person. So when I think back about, she was a natural born leader. She was a psychologist. But if you came into her space and tried to lead, that was not going to happen. Knowing where that line is and knowing that you're a natural born leader, but so are other people, and knowing kind of where you stand in your own power is a good place, or is a good thing to know, because I know there were plenty of family blow-ups that were at the helm of my Nana.
Right.
Because people tried to come into her space, and she did a very poor job of communicating boundaries and saying, this is where I will accept this and this is where I won't.
Do you think that was a trait that was inherent to your Nana, or do you think that's a Leo trait?
When you ask that question, I think my immediate answer was to say it was a Leo.
Okay.
Because my Nana had a hard time establishing boundaries and also respecting boundaries. Because especially later on in life where, you know, I was becoming a woman, I was becoming an adult, and I was asserting myself in different ways, I didn't know necessarily the term boundary, but even like my mom and my Nana's other siblings, they would try and establish boundaries because my Nana would cross them all the time. Again, going back to that, I'm the matriarch of this family. I can basically do and say what I want without any repercussions. And it's like, no, do and say what you want, but there are repercussions.
Right.
And there is fallout.
Because you're still just
and people aren't going
part of the family.
Right. And people aren't going to absorb this toxic behavior. And we still have a relationship in spirit there's so much where I'm like, you could have done better. You know, there was areas of growth that could have happened. And she was a psychologist too, which was kind of the irony of it all. Like a family and marriage psychologist, and she had a terrible marriage for all intents and purposes.
I don't want to say that I feel like that's a common thing.
Also Catholic guilt. Those fuckers stayed married because of the church.
Mental health professions.
It's true though.
But often in the areas that they are trying to help other people is where they struggle the most. And I wonder if that's not why they get into it in the first place.
It could be. I mean, you know, my Nana was raised during the Great Depression, and she came from a very middle class family, but she did go on to get an education in the 40s, early 50s, which is unheard of really at that time. Women still were being gaslit and, you know, you stay in the, you know, your place is in the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. So she was standing in her power in a lot of ways, but there were things that unfortunately she could not have, you know?
Right.
That came back. So anyways, back to Leos and standing in your power and knowing where that confidence lies and where that leadership lies. A lot of natural born leaders are Leos. It's another one of your characteristics that you guys got going for you.
A lot of creatives too.
Well, yeah.
Yep. Two of the ones that stood out to me when I was doing research were Andy Warhol and Lucille Ball. I mean, talk about a freaking spitfire of a person. My parents both loved I Love Lucy when I was growing up.
She was ahead of her time too.
Oh, hugely.
I mean, she was unbelievably great. Have you seen the documentary?
I haven't.
Oh, it's so good.
All right, I'll have to watch it now.
It's really, really good.
I mean, there's a lot of stars that have this Leo sun energy, but there's some also, and I found this interesting because just because you might not have a strong Leo placement as like a sun sign, maybe you have it rising or you have a moon sign, but I'm pretty sure Beyonce has Leo rising and Leo moon, but she's a Virgo. Now, personally, I'm not a Beyonce fan. Just me.
We've talked about this.
Right. Never really been a Beyonce fan.
Like, I don't respect the craft.
Respect the craft.
Yeah.
Not my thing.
Yep.
But you can't deny she has that like star quality about her.
Oh, the charisma.
Right.
She is a natural born performer. I mean,
you know who else?
Madonna.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, JK.
No, Daniel Radcliffe, the guy that played Harry Potter.
Oh, I thought you meant the author of. Barack Obama is also a Leo.
Yeah, I know. I love Barack Obama. Not to get political. I just think as a human, I love him.
I tell people all the time, like it, don't really give a shit. I always vote for who I think is a good fucking human.
Right. Agreed.
I don't care if, it's not that I don't care about the accolades, but if I don't think you're a good human, I don't think you're a good human.
Oh, I just realized there's somebody on my list I skipped over.
Who'd you skip?
Jason Momoa.
Oh, dear Lord.
Both my boyfriend and my husband's boyfriend. No, we've talked about if we had this conversation, if somebody were to play you in a movie, who would be the actor, right? And so Charlie said, wait, hold on. We have an actor that embodies your personality. And then we have another that would be like your sexy actor to play you.
Okay.
And so his main guy is Jack Black. And the funny thing about this is before they ever did anything together. Like we've talked about this years ago. So Jack Black and Jason Momoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now they have. Have you watched?
I haven't. No.
My God.
But I do love a Jason Momoa moment.
It's all right. The Minecraft movie. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a blockbuster smash hit, but it had its scenes.
I really didn't want to go spend the money to see it in the theater.
Good investment.
Okay, cool. I made good choices.
Lava, a chicken.
I feel like you could insert anything after that noise you made and my kids.
Yeah. I mean, anyways, moving on. Also, our female actress.
Oh, my female actress would be Melissa McCarthy. 100% would play me.
Oh, yeah. But I was going to say Jeff and I's like sexy actress that we both like love.
Oh, yeah.
Is Mila Kunis.
Oh,
and
okay.
She's a Leo.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Let's talk about how to harness that Leo season energy, shall we?
Let's do that.
Okay. This is all about letting your inner child out to play.
That's right.
Writing. We've talked about me writing, right?
Yes. You are an incredible writer.
Well, thank you. I have been in this space of knowing I need to write something, not knowing exactly what I need to write. I started writing something. I sent it to you. I wasn't sure if this was like the road I wanted to go down. Anyway, last week, out of nowhere, inspiration struck.
So, you know how you like to challenge me on certain podcasts to do certain things?
Yes.
I challenge you during Leo season to submit what you have written.
So here's my plan. Before I submit it anywhere, I need to copyright it with the Library of Congress. So
whatever steps you need to take will
be my first step that I do during Leo season.
Okay.
Because then, of course, naturally, somebody popped up there that had just written a book and published it. And so then I talked to him. And then my friend's daughter happened to edit that book. So then I had that conversation with her and everything just...
But that's fascinating. So you spoke with her about the actual steps that you should take.
Right, both of them.
Yeah. I would never even thought that was the first step you should take.
Right. Well, and what he said, as soon as he copyrighted his book,
yes,
he had 4 publishers reach out to him as soon as he put the copyright with the Library of Congress.
Now you have to pay for it.
Yeah, it's like a few $100.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy, but yeah.
Any of the other stuff I've written didn't feel like it was the right time. This feels like
yes,
this is,
and I think that's valid. I think that's valid. I mean, even like with building a business, right? Like I knew in the beginning after I left my job, I didn't know how everything would manifest and change. And you and I have talked about this where I was like, I can't even say the word entrepreneur. Like it's very challenging for me. And now I'm in a place where I'm like, no, I am. I'm an entrepreneur of a few businesses. And that's like really exciting. And I'm not intimidated by that word anymore. So I think the timing has everything to do with the execution.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of Leo season is about being seen. So this is a really great time to, you know, launch something, to launch a project, to show up on social media, or to simply like spend time with people that you're not usually being seen by and spending time with so that you can express yourself with confidence, right? Like Leos are so good at that.
They are. I mean, confidence, we talked about this a little bit in the beginning, is one of their strongest strengths.
Right.
And being confident is not the same as being cocky. And it's not the same as being boastful or, you know, getting out there and, you know, showcasing what you have and flaunting it. It's about being strong in what you have to offer and standing in your power. And it's a great time to do that. And especially if you are a Leo, you know, your sun sign, this is amplified for you. Big time.
Big time. You know, that quiet confidence you're talking about made me think of, have you ever seen like a woman in her 60s or 70s who is put together, confident, and just, you're like, oh man, that's fucking goals. Like that.
Peaking.
That is fucking goals. Versus the woman who's like in her 60s or her 70s and she's like out at the bar trying to hang with like all the young ones and like just trying too hard.
Or
right? Like,
in her 60s, but looks like she's in her fucking 80s.
Oh.
You thought it's very interesting that you bring this up because, you know, we have daughters that are in middle school and I keep stressing to Emmeline, you don't want to peak in middle school. Like, honest to God, who gives a shit about any of these people you're hanging out with? None of you guys know anything about anything. You think you know everything about everything, but honestly, you don't. And like, your friends will change and blah, 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 and all these things. And I was thinking about when I peaked in my mind. And I was like, oh, it's probably like, yeah, my mid-20s. Like when I met Jeff, I was like in a really good place. And then I'm thinking, wait, I haven't fucking peaked. What are you talking about, Rachel? And I was thinking about where I want to go and when I want to peak. And it's definitely in my 50s and 60s. Like that's when our careers 100%. Are going to be like
Martha Stewart vibes.
Yeah. Like I haven't fucking peaked. That's when I'm going to get new boobs, not new boobs, but I'm going to raise these guys up. And like, I'm going to be doing all of the things. So I haven't even peaked. I have not peaked.
You haven't peaked.
I was, what was the other day? It was like 2 women. One of them was a golden girl, which by the way, they were all in their 50s when they were on that. Like their characters were in their...
Actually, you know, it's funny. As I was just reading this for some reason as well. Sophia, the oldest one, was younger than Dorothy.
Yes. Yeah. I did know that. But when you think about them now, where we are, and it's like, oh, fuck. We're not... No. My point being, there was a side-by-side picture of Betty White's character. Rose. And I want to say Gwyneth Paltrow, who is pushing, maybe not close to 60. She might be mid-50s.
She's in her 50s.
But like, they don't look like... Rose looked old. She had that permed hair, and like she was wearing like old church lady clothes. And
I always remember my grandparents looking old.
Yeah.
Always. And they don't look like that now.
I don't think, like, my mom is turning 70, and I don't think she looks anywhere close to being 70.
Your mom is a fantastic example of somebody who is put together and confident and just has her shit together as an older woman.
Yes. And she's let herself go gray, which I'm a big supporter of. And I am a big part of this. Let's lean into our aging. We don't need to do so much anti-aging. Aging is a part of our fucking beauty. And it shouldn't be demonized. It shouldn't be shit on, because that is aging. It's through growth.
Right.
I never want to go back to being in my 20s and my 30s. Ever.
Right.
Like, no. Mm-mm.
I'm here. Much prefer this version of myself.
Yeah, I'm here for where we're going.
Yeah. All right. The next one that I have for harnessing Leo season is opening your heart. That's a big one.
That can be a challenge.
Can be a challenge for some people, right? Like, a lot of people have fortified walls around their heart in order to help protect them. But Leo rules love and romance and connection. So this is an invitation to lean into that heartfelt connection. Even if it's on like a very small level. Like if you really struggle this, right? You have these walls built up and you're like, nope, I'm going to stay right here in my little safe space. Just find one little connection that you can lean into and feel like, you know what? I can trust this person a little bit, or I can love this person a little bit more. Because really, it's an act of love and an act of trust for yourself when you make that choice.
I think opening yourself up, it makes yourself vulnerable. But when you're vulnerable is when you're able to come from a place of selflessness.
I watched a snippet of a podcast that Chris Corsini was on recently. And this was really talking about relationships. But I think that love relationships is kind of where he was going with it. But I think it can apply to any relationships that you have with people. And he was talking about choosing love. Like, if you're going to meet me with poison, right? Because that's where you're at in your life. I can either choose to meet you where you're at with poison or lead with love. And if I'm poisoning you, I'm poisoning myself. Right?
Yes.
But if I'm choosing love over and over and over again, inevitably, you're doing that for yourself, even though, yes, it's an act of generosity for someone else, because you're choosing not to be malicious or not to be venomous in some way, even if it feels justified.
And that's just it, right? It's hard. It's much easier to meet poison with poison than it is to meet poison with love. But when you think about the energetic cords that we establish with people, if we start pumping that with love, at some point, either you can cut that cord or it will start to be reciprocated.
Well, and that's how Charlie and I lead our lives, really, because, you know, we have a pretty big community. We've always said that we don't necessarily feel like we fit in any of them, right? Like, we don't really feel like we belong here or we belong there, but we just consistently show up as who we are.
Yes.
And full of love and full of life and full of energy and like ready to have the best experience that we can, no matter what circle we're sitting in.
Right.
And that's what leads us back to who we are inevitably over and over and over again, and feeling good and feeling the connection with those people. Because you're right. You either do cut the cord eventually because you're like, I don't want to sit in this circle, or you sit in the space that you have with those people at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and then you continue to make those choices, and then new kinds of relationships are fostered.
Yeah. So choosing love, I think that's a tough one though.
It is really,
Yeah.
really tough.
That could be like harder than when you do it for real. That can be a little bit more of a challenge. And I would almost say that you should do it either with a stranger or with someone that you've had beef with.
Or even if somebody cuts you off, right? You're in traffic and somebody cuts you off.
Yes.
You don't have to act out and throw them the finger or yell at them or be mad that somebody cut you off. You can just say, man, I hope that person's day gets better.
Yep.
And you can just send that little bit of love out.
Yep.
I did this one day where I was like, I'm going to go out. Every single person I pass, I am going to say either in my head mentally or verbalize it to them, something kind, some sort of well wish for them.
Yes.
When you're driving down the road, that's a lot of fucking people. I was like, have a great day, have a great day, have a great day. Like, I hope you don't die in an accident. Like, of course, Kristen, I'm like overachiever over here. I'm like, I have to wish everyone well. But like,
okay.
But my point is
yes,
that it feels much better to be in that space with people,
yes,
than it does to be in a space of like, oh, fuck that guy.
I've had a situation that came up recently with a solo individual that I have found myself really trying to send as much compassion and understanding to, instead of sitting in a place of anger and needing to be right, because it was like an ethical, moral kind of situation that I was struggling with. And instead I've just been like harnessing, like when I think about that person and if it starts to come up, I'm like, nope, I'm just going to send them love. I'm going to send them compassion. I don't know everything that's going on in their life, and everything is working out the way it's supposed to work out. So I'm not going to hold on to this. I'm not going to harness this. And, and I think that's such a good exercise, because that is healthy for me. Because when you think about it, it's not doing anything good for you if you harbor.
It's just going to make you sick.
Yeah, it'll like legit make you sick.
All right, the next one I have is honoring your inner leader. So whether you are leading a family, you are the matriarch, right? You're running a business, or just your own self, your own power. Leo season is giving you that invitation to honor that sense of leadership in yourself. It's hard to do sometimes.
Yep.
I really hate this term personally. I know it resonates with a lot of people, so I'm going to use it. Imposter syndrome. I personally don't like the terminology. I don't like the whole idea of it, but I know a lot of people it resonates with. And so, people, I think, feel as though they're not worthy of being in the position that they're in, especially if they are in a position of power, right? And so honoring that inner leader, it can be so powerful, because I think too, if we're honoring that inner leader, then we're less likely to kind of act out in ego in our leadership.
And there is that balance, right, of understanding leadership. A lot of exercises that can be done in regards to this particular inner leader part can be done through journaling, through meditation, where you can honor that in you, but also look for those next steps on how you can be a better leader. I think it's really important, and I do this a lot as a Scorpio, is I look to like other leaders that I have had throughout my life to say, what characteristics did I love about what they do? And then actually, what did I really not like? Because that is always where I found myself wanting to be a better person. And so the way I tend to lead is I am your equal. I might have a different title, but I am a human just like you're a human. And if I am doing a good job teaching you what I know, you should be able to do my job. And that came from somebody
100%.
that I really admired in the tech space that was like, I'm going to teach you everything I have. I'm not going to shadow ban anything. If you have any questions, I'll be an open book, very transparent, and would allow you to take responsibility and do things in your daily activities that made you a better person. But it also gave you that I'm going to give you a little bit of rope so you can go experiment and do this, but then come back. You don't have to feel like you take it all on. And there are leaders that are very authoritative and just very, you do what I say because I'm your boss. I also don't parent like that.
I was going to say there's a lot of parents that are the same way too. That's like, do what I say because I'm your parent, and that's fucking it because I said so.
I will say that I do say that from time to time.
I know you do.
But it's because I reached my point sometimes, and there's 3 of them where I'm just like, I don't have the bandwidth to explain every fucking thing. But a lot of times I do explain things. And I've been trying to get better when I say that, coming back and saying, okay, I'll explain why I said what I said. And, because most of it has to do with like, we have to meet a timeline or a deadline or whatever it is, right? But I've been working on that too. So I'm not one to say, and I've been working on that with Jeff too, where, because he likes to do that. He likes to put his foot down, but that's what he knew, that, we do what we know. So if we're raised by parents that had that, iron fist,
we either go one way or the other. We either do what we know or we go the complete opposite because we don't want to be anything like it.
Yeah. When challenging times arise or tensions get high, it's the thing you revert back to, right? Which is what I do.
Right.
So these are all very good. I'm enjoying this Leo season.
Shall we wrap it up?
I think we shall.
Okay. I think this is a really good time to ask yourself how you're going to be seen right now, how you're going to show up, and also what areas of your life you can open up that loving, heartfelt connection in. Mm-hmm. Where can you nurture that?
Put yourself out there and, be collaborative and work within your community, work with the energy that comes with, be creative. This is not a time to be in isolation. This is a time to get out, whether that's going to a musical festival or a museum or just walking around in your city. Get out and like,
I thought you were going to say your sleep. Just walk around in your sleep. Just get out there, guys.
Get out there. Don't walk around in your sleep. I do not recommend. But it is a really, and you're going to be wrapping up the tail end of summer. School is going to be starting to ramp back up to get back into. If you have children, they're going to start to get back into that school. So just like,
or if you're going to school yourself,
or if you're going, if you're in school yourself too. And so just know that you're at that precipice too, where seasons are about to change, but you're still capable of taking this energy and working with it.
Right.
It's a really great time.
Yep. So let your heart guide you, your roar remind you, and your light shine louder than your fear. You are the sun, and don't dim for anyone. It's my words to end on today, guys.
There we go. All right.
We love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I love Leo season. I'm so glad that we're here. And we have 2 Leos with us. This has been awesome.
Yes.
I love it so much.
We bid you adieu.
Bye-bye.